Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all are doing well. As we get closer to Christmas, I figured I would take some time to talk about some of my Christmas memories. In particular, my memories of being a Christmas tree salesman. I actually talked about this in a speech I gave in my Toastmasters group this past weekend. However, being a Christmas tree salesman is something that not everybody has had the honor of being a part of. However, my family and I have been involved with that role for decades. To give you a little history, the Arkansas School for the Blind Alumni Association started the Christmas tree sales back around 1985, and it was really a great fundraiser that really just took off. And the last 40 years, many Christmas trees have been sold to many individuals, and all the proceeds raised have gone to help the students at the blind school here in Arkansas. I myself was helping out with this fundraiser even when I was still a student at the blind school, because my mother, my maternal grandmother, and my dad's stepdad, and my sister for a short time all went to the School for the Blind here in Arkansas. And so it was a family affair. I mean, my dad, he helped out, and, all of us had a role, and family friends helped out too, other alumni members. And we would usually have, and how it's done today, there usually be like a little trailer, little area set up at the edge of the campus of the Arkansas School for the Blind over there on 2600 West Markham Street in Little Rock. And we would set up the trees around like by the little shed that we would have. The shed has changed over the years. For many years we had like one shed, and then we finally did away with that one. It was just getting real run down, and we for a few years had an old RV that was like the little shed there, for people to take refuge from the cold weather and so forth. And then there was even a couple of years where there was only like a tent there. However, a few years ago, we did get a newer trailer down there, and it has definitely been a blessing having that trailer. And, we had a little heater in there. And also, many years we have been fortunate enough to also have a porta potty as well. Now, the way that we would put the trees all around, like by the trailers, we would have, like years ago, it's like a wired fence and fence posts. Now we have these wooden stands that we would prop the trees on, and there would be lights on there to light up the tree farm at nighttime. And we even had a a tree shaker finally put in, and a table to put the twine around the tree to get it ready to be transported, and for the extra branches to be chopped off. And any of the branches that were chopped off, even now, we'll usually let the customers have them if they want to make centerpieces or wreaths out of them. Even people who may not purchase a tree, they can get those if they want to. Used to, before we obtained the tree shaker, we used to have to like shake them by hand. I remember as a kid helping out with that, and that was always a lot of fun, just trying to get all the dang pine needles and all that stuff situated. I mean, it was really just amazing how far we have come. The other thing we have done is with the twining table we do have like as a memorial to one of our alumnus, Scott Randolph, who went on to be with the Lord back in 2024. He had cancer, who he had played a huge role in being there at the trees for many years, helping to sell trees. We had a memorial marker put on the twine table in his memory because of all the years he put into selling trees. We also would have some people, there were a few years, one of the alumnus, I forget who it was, made some woodwork that we sold, which was like reindeers and snowmen. They're really great pieces of woodwork, and we also, will give out candy canes to the kids. We'll do that. And sometimes over the years, we have had Santa Claus, one of Santa's helpers come by for a visit, or one of his elves. So we have had that go on over the years as well. When it comes to the different vehicles we have placed the Christmas trees in, we have placed them in everything from pickup trucks to the top of SUVs and cars that are modern, all the way back to some classic antique vehicles. One of them being, we had an old Charlie Brown Christmas tree that we put on the top of an old 1941 Plymouth, which that was really cool. I remember I actually took a picture of that, and that's like a really perfect picture you could have like for a Christmas card. So that was really neat that one year, and that actually wound up being our last Christmas tree we sold that particular year. We also do have like the Christmas tree stands as well. We'll sell to the customers too. Now, Christmas trees, they are heavy, and I tell you what, as I was telling the Toastmasters group, to what that old Grinch, and the Grinch, how the Grinch stole Christmas, he had to be very strong, be able to grab up the Christmas trees he took from the Who's homes, because, moving those Christmas trees around ain't no joke. Especially them really large Christmas trees, because we have moved some large ones down there. We have sold everything from Virginia pine trees to Fraser firs, Douglas firs, just to name a few of the trees that we have sold. Some of them we have had shipped in from like the Carolinas. Fraser firs, that's really big up there in the mountains over there in Appalachia. It's a big money maker for them. The Douglas firs, they grow a lot of those like up there in Michigan. You can see a lot of where they grow a lot of them up around that part of the country. However, we have been very fortunate to sell a number of trees. We have had the newspaper put in an appearance. All the local news stations over the years have done stories on the Christmas tree sales. The Christmas tree sales have been going on now for 40 years. We've had several different superintendents running the blind school since the Christmas trees sales started. Leonard Ogburn was superintendent at that time when it began, and now Nicole Walsh is now superintendent of the school, which now the school is consolidated. It's now the Arkansas School for the Deaf and Blind. And the different groups that have been involved with the Christmas tree sales, the alumni has had it the longest. However, the PTA did it for a few years. In addition, students over the years have helped out with it. So like the student council, Key Club, different groups like that have assisted. Now it's not nearly as many of the student body that gets to help out now because of like all the liability issues and different things. However, many groups involved with the school have assisted, and we are very thankful as well. Like the Boy Scouts have helped out with Scott Randolph, who passed away. He was a key player in the Boy Scouts. And while I was not able to be down there much this year because of other commitments that I have, it has been great. Like being involved with public relations, helping out with the Christmas tree sales years ago when Bob Robbins, who was a DJ here in Central Arkansas for the country station, was at Toy Hill, which is Marine Corps Reserve's program, Toys for Tots, to help kids have a Merry Christmas. Bob was kind enough to let me get on the radio to talk with him about the Christmas tree sales and to leave him a flyer, and that really helped out as well. And Bob Robbins was very kind to allow us to do that. And you just it's nice to be able to have different individuals like that are well known, who will help to get the word out about fundraisers like that. But I just thought I'd come on here and share some of my recollections over the years of helping out with the Christmas tree sales. And we have definitely had some good times. We have, like I said, we have sold to many people. Several of us, some of us in the National Federation of the Blind Central Arkansas chapter have helped out some in the last few years, and it's just a great way to get the word out about what all we're doing in the blind community and what all resources are available to those of us who are blind. It's a great way of advocacy. Advocacy work is not just going to the Capitol and meeting with your representatives. It's also just getting out and living life in the community. Like we say in the National Federation of the Blind, live the life you want. And that's very important to keep in mind. I hope you all enjoyed my little trip down memory lane, and Merry Christmas. And we do plan on having the Christmas tree sales again this coming year to raise money for the students at the blind school, which does help out like with scholarships and awards and other resources they may need. So y'all take care, and whenever that time rolls around again next year, I'll be sure to put something up on here to let you all know when you can go and buy a tree if you're interested in doing that next year. Take care.